Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tag video by the lovely Amber Ashley. If you don't know her, she is another Luxe YouTuber in this community. She's absolutely lovely. I personally feel like I can relate to her because she's also a working mom and she does YouTube on the side to really connect with the greater Luxe community. So she's lots of fun, has really helpful reviews. So go check out her channel if you don't know her already. But I was tagged to do this video to share my top 5 dream handbags. And so my take on this video is going to be a little bit different than what you might expect. So stay tuned as I'm going to share with you a lot of personal stories and background and my rationale for some of the bags that I chose and which ones are truly the dream ones for me. And speaking of dream and dreaminess, I am sitting here, it's Saturday afternoon. I feel like this is my dream weekend. I'm in my pajamas. In fact, we're all in our pajamas at our home right now, my husband, my kids, and I've got my pajamas under here and my pink fuzzy robe because it's a little chilly here in New York. It's in the 30s. So this is a truly low-key, dreamy kind of Saturday. And I feel like my nails are looking pretty dreamy at the moment. So this video is in partnership with Mejosi. I think you know if you're a regular on my channel, I always do my nails. A lot of you ask me questions about my nail care routine and also which nail polishes I use. And lately I've been experimenting, especially because I love doing my nails. It's very therapeutic for me. It's kind of like a self-care routine. It's very relaxing. I prefer doing my own nails versus going to the nail salon, which I go on rare occasions. But I don't love the toxic chemicals and the smell that runs through our apartment, especially from the polish and also from the nail remover, the nail polish remover. So I have been sort of experimenting, as I said, and I discovered this brand called Mejosi. And what I really love about Mejosi is that they offer these adorable sets of nail polishes, and it works really well for both me but also my 10-year-old daughter because she's kind of like a mini me and she wants to do her nails as well when she sees me do mine. Look how adorable this packaging is. First of all, each bottle comes in like a little doll figurine, and the colors are so fun. So here's one set. They're all non-toxic, vegan, cruelty-free, water-based. Here's another set. I actually posted a photo of my nails and my daughter's nails. I did this one here originally, and then she did this blue sparkly one. Really fun. And what I noticed right away was that it applied very easily, just like any other nail polish that I'm used to, but there was no smell. And then I'll show you later on in the video how you remove this. It's so easy and so fuss-free. I was actually really impressed. So I'm actually going to show you how to remove one of my nail polishes here towards the later part of this video, so stay tuned for that. And then, really fun, they also have these sets of press-on nails, and I'll be honest with you, I've not tried press-on nails really ever, and I was a little bit skeptical, but this came with a full set. So inside, it's actually a lot. So here it has the nails, the mini file, gives you a mini mani stick, like a cuticle pusher, glue, and adhesive tabs. And I didn't even actually need to use the adhesive tabs. This is a fake nail, this one right here. This is one of the press-on nails, and how cool is that? It's like this piece of jewelry on my nail. It's so glamorous and so dreamy. And the rest of the polish is, I'll show you, it's this one here in the middle. Really pretty. So really fun as I'm playing around with this, but let me show you. So this is a full set. As you can see, a bunch of things just plopped out. You get an alcohol pad or two, you get a nail file, you get the little wooden cuticle pusher thingy, and then you get this little glue stick. And if you're thinking glue on a nail, well, if your nails are fairly healthy, this might actually be a better alternative than putting polish on all the time. So I am going to experiment with it a little bit more and see how it goes. Here are the adhesive tabs, because according to the instructions, in order to remove the press-on nail, all you need to do is soak it in warm water for about 15 minutes and then it just peels right off. So if it's that easy, then I think that's great. So anyway, here are the nails. Look at how many you get in one set. So you get 15 different sizes for each hand. So considering you only have 5 fingers on each hand, this is a lot of options. And if you're like me and you don't necessarily want to put the press-on nails on every single finger, this can last you so long, like for Valentine's Day, for special occasions, for Christmas, for whatever other holidays, date nights, girls' night out. You can pick and choose which ones you want to stick on just to kind of add a little bit more pizzazz to your nails. In fact, I'm wishing that I had actually ordered, let me see. I wish I had chosen some Valentine's Day themed ones, because Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and anything with like hearts or flowers or pink and red would have been really pretty. But actually I chose this one when they asked which set I would like. This one here I just thought was so glamorous, like I said, and this one is missing because I have it on. Like there's no, it's not loose. It feels like my natural nails. There's no real difference, and it's quite secure. But again, according to the instructions, it's also quite easy to remove. So I thought this would be really fun to share. I'm actually really picky about the kinds of items or products that I share on my channel, because 99.9% of the time brands reach out to me. I'm like, it's not really relevant, or I personally don't like it, or doesn't make sense for my channel, or whatever the case. But I thought this was really cool and I wanted to share. So I will put the links to these products in my description box, along with a promo code. Now, Mejosi seems to be having a lot of different promotions and sales at the moment, so if you can get a better deal just by going to their website and finding a discount code there, by all means do that. But if you're able to save even more by using my code, that's catwalk 10, to get $10 off for any order over $30, then use that as well. It's totally up to you. I don't get any commission for this. Yeah, I just wanted to share. I felt like it really went with the theme of like dreaminess and the topic of dream handbags. So there we go. Now let's get started on this tag video. So 5 dream bags, my top 5. Well, I have to say my perspective on this is going to be a little bit different, as I said early on, because I feel like I have most of my dream bags already, and maybe that's a little boring or perhaps a little lame, but mostly I feel I have my dream bags, and let me explain to you why. So, the very first time that I noticed the Chanel Jumbo was in my 20s, in my mid-20s. And I didn't really know a whole lot about Chanel at the time, but I had such admiration for the brand, the history, the heritage. And I was walking through Saks Fifth Avenue with my friend John at the time. He and I have been friends since we were 13. He just kind of tells me like it is. And I was like, let me try on some of these bags. I didn't even know the names of them, nothing. And I tried on the medium-sized classic flap, and then I tried on the jumbo. Okay, this is like 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, which one? This one kind of feels a little bit big. The other one, I don't know. And I remember exactly in that moment, he said to me, either go big or go home. Either do it or don't, basically. He's like, if you're going to go for Chanel, go for Chanel. Don't be nitpicking on a smaller size. Like, go get this. And by the way, I'm a Leo and he's a Leo. And so if you know anything about zodiac signs, you'll understand the whole go big kind of mantra. So I tried it on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is crazy. And I was too timid to even ask about the price. I think I asked about the price for the medium at the time, and then I just knew in my gut that would mean the jumbo would be even more expensive because of the size. So I didn't bother, and it was too intimidating to spend that kind of money. I had, I was in my 20s, earning but saving and trying to start my life and become an adult and be responsible. So I prioritized and I put the bag back and we walked out empty-handed. Fast forward now, I am in my 40s, okay? I just turned 40 recently. I'm in my early 40s and I got this bag last year, okay? And it just means so much more to me now, having sort of like earned it and having been disciplined and patient for this bag. It's not like I was consciously waiting. It just happened when this popped up. By the way, I got this from a reseller. I'll put her information down below. Jazz from Rue Street Bags. I've talked about her many times on this channel. I don't get anything, by the way, for promoting her or supporting her. I just do it because I really trust her and I really like what she offers and the service that she provides. But this just popped up kind of out of the blue, and it's the single flap that I wanted. Okay, so when I tried on the jumbo at Saks Fifth Avenue that time in my 20s, that was probably around like, I don't know, 2007 to 2009-ish, or maybe it was earlier than that. It was definitely before 2010, for sure. It was in the early 2000s. And I remember when I tried it on and I opened it, it was like this. So it hadn't even occurred to me that there would be a double flap version. That's the classic. It's stuffed at the moment with an organizer and some felt and all of that, but it's the single flap. And I love the ease of the single flap. I love the lighter weight of the single flap. The jumbos are quite weighty. And if you've seen my other videos where I actually weigh my bags, you know that this just meets my threshold of being under 2 pounds when it's empty. So this is like the ideal Chanel bag for me in terms of like dream bags. Anyway, so I saw this pop up and I saw the condition pristine, no structure loss, nothing, like not a scratch, nothing anywhere. Came full set with all the original paperwork, including the receipt, authenticity card, dust bag, box, everything, like everything. Whoever took care of this prior, whoever was the owner prior, did such a good job keeping her in this beautiful condition. It just, no smell, nothing. Like, I'm super picky, so I'm telling you, this was absolutely perfect. And let me show you what series it is. If you know anything about the Chanel Jumbo single flap, you'll know that this was discontinued. And it was discontinued in 2014. See, all the original paperwork is in here. But let me just pull out the authenticity card. Here it is. It's a 12 series. And I just feel so lucky to have this bag, and especially at the price that I got it. Okay, so let me talk about price. Okay, when I first saw this at Saks Fifth Avenue in my 20s, it was probably in the ballpark of high 2000s or low 3000s, okay? Because I can't remember the exact year that I was shopping that day, but it was in that ballpark of like probably $2,900 to maybe $3,300 to $3,500, something like that, because that's what historically the jumbo prices were around that time frame, and then obviously has climbed since and is now over $7,000 retail. You would think I would have regrets, like, oh, if I had just gotten it for $3,000 in my 20s. No, like I said, it feels so much more special to me now that I have earned it at this particular point in my life, and I got this for $3,900. Again, full set in pristine condition. $3,900. Okay, that's all in. So what that means is, with retail prices being the way they are, plus tax, I paid about half of retail. Isn't that amazing? So it's like the dream bag for me in terms of the meaning behind it, how long I waited for it, but also the price is a factor. It's like, it may not have been as exciting to get this for the retail price of $7,000 plus. The fact that I got it for pretty much close to the same price as it was when I was in my 20s is like phenomenal to me. Phenomenal. And it is the exact combination that I wanted. Black caviar with the silver hardware. It has the flat CC, which I love, and the single flap, which you can't get in the stores anymore. So this would have to be dream handbag number one. And I know technically this tag I think is supposed to be about dream handbags that you have on your wish list, but I think you can have dream handbags that you already own and have just greater appreciation for them. So I have to include this in my list. So then the next bag I want to show you is from Louis Vuitton. So this bag here, talked about the story behind this bag before. This is my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. Okay, bought this brand new from the flagship boutique here in New York. in 2019. At the time, the price was $1,830. Okay, so I paid $1,830 plus tax. And currently, with the Louis Vuitton price increases, and I did a video on this recently, it is now over $2,000. It is $2,050 to be exact. Okay, so let me tell you, this bag, I waited about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years, but definitely well over a year to get this bag. This bag, if you don't know the history, was introduced by Louis Vuitton in 2012. And as much as people think of the Pochette Métis as a classic, nowadays, it wasn't a major hit when it first launched. I don't know if everyone knows that. So this bag came out in 2012, and it wasn't until about 2014 that it really kind of became popular. And then around 2017, there were all kinds of rumors swirling online that Louis Vuitton was going to discontinue this bag. And then that made everyone go even more bonkers for it. And of course, every influencer out there on Pinterest and wherever was wearing the bag and being photographed in the bag. So that created more hype. But I loved this bag from the beginning. And if you don't know, this is my first Louis Vuitton bag. There was no other Louis Vuitton bag in the early years that really, really caught my eye, except for one, the Manhattan, but I couldn't afford it at the time. This was a long time ago. But this is the first one that I really was like, I want that bag. And when I finally had made up my mind, the bag was out of stock for a long time everywhere. And then when it became more widely available, I guess that was when the rumors were swirling that it was going to be discontinued because they were out of stock for so long and no one was seeing them available. Anyway, when Louis Vuitton started bringing them back, there were a crap ton of quality issues. So many. And partially because there's so much glazing around the bag. If you can see here, there are multiple pieces of canvas compartments, and then over here there's glazing all around. Okay, so there were issues with glazing cracking and peeling and melting. Then there were all kinds of issues with the lock being lopsided, the bag being asymmetrical, like so many issues. And I thought, I want this bag, but I do not want a poorly crafted bag, and I don't want a bag that's going to be taken back to get serviced and have all kinds of shenanigans attached to it. So I waited and waited. It was like I was waiting out the quality issues and just hoping they would resolve them. I was tempted to purchase this on the pre-loved market, but whenever you see a bag that has a string of quality issues, you don't want to go pre-loved because you don't know what you're getting, because you don't know how many issues the bag has had, if it's been repaired maybe a few times by the previous owner. So I was like, no, I'm definitely going to buy this brand new, but I have to wait. And since then, they have made some changes. I know they've made this canvas piece a bit longer here. They've adjusted it. They now push the flap all the way back when they glaze it, so that when you open and close the flap, there's more kind of flexibility and the glazing is less prone to cracking, like all kinds of details that I learned from my sales associate. But then it became, all right, I want a made in France Louis Vuitton. It was just a psychological thing. Like I wanted a made in France. I had waited this long. And there were a few available in the boutiques that were made in USA, but I just wanted a made in France bag if I was going to get my very first Louis Vuitton. And so I waited longer. So you get the point. This bag for me represents patience. It represents patience. It represents not compromising my standards, my standards for like quality and craftsmanship and, you know, getting what I paid for. So I did get a made in France. I don't know if you can see that there. There's the made in France stamping. It's probably hard to see. And I love the microfiber. I love the compartments. I love the shape of the bag. I love how it's such a classic silhouette. Oh, I never really close it like that unless I have, because I don't like it getting crushed. Here is the beautiful strap. I also put that in here when I store it. And I don't put stickers on my hardware. I know some people buy stickers or they just keep the original stickers on. I don't do that. I just want to enjoy the bag and be carefree about it. So you can see there are a ton of scratches from the closure here, but when you close it, you can't see it. So I really don't care. I love this bag so much. So this would be dream bag number 2 if I had to choose, the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. Okay, and then you're probably wondering why this bag has been sitting out here. This is my Chanel lambskin classic flap in the medium size in this beautiful apple red. That's how I describe it, apple red. There's no special effects happening here. I don't use any special lighting. I just sit by my window so you can get the sunlight. So the bag will look a little darker in some lights, brighter in others, but this is how it looks right by my window. Silver hardware. This too I purchased pre-loved from the same seller, from Rouge Street Bags, and I told you what I paid for the jumbo. I actually paid less for this one, believe it or not. Made in France as well. And this is a 13 series. So buttery soft. So buttery soft. Excellent, excellent condition. Came with the authenticity card, dust bag, etc. Okay, so this one here, not necessarily my dream bag. It's not like I had been waiting for this or had my eye on this. It literally popped up around the holidays last year and it felt very Christmassy, and it was totally an impulse purchase, I admit. And I admitted that, and I had like a whole confession video when I unboxed this. But for those of you who've been with me on this channel for a while now, may remember that I purchased a Chanel mini square in the 18B raspberry red caviar from Fashion File a while ago, and I was so excited. That was the first and only time that I ever paid above retail price to get the bag that I wanted. I'd never done that before. I've been very disciplined about either scoring a deal, getting a discount, or just waiting until the price is right. But I paid a little bit above retail because that bag was so hard to find. And you know, if you're into Chanel minis, they don't make caviars anymore, so just it's impossible to get in the boutiques. Long story short, when I received that bag, I discovered that it had been altered, and there's this whole saga, the whole story behind that. You can check out the original video, I'll link it. But it all worked out fine, no regrets, really. It was all meant for me to send it back because it probably went to someone else who's really loving and enjoying it. But it didn't work out for me considering it was altered and I paid above retail, and Fashion File wouldn't really accommodate any kind of credit. Or at least not a substantial credit. I returned it. And ever since then, I was always kind of like, I had like a Chanel red hole in my collection, it felt like, even though I said I had moved on, and I kind of did move on, sort of. I never went and bought another Chanel mini square, although I did go look. And then I also got this, which is my Coach Rambler 16, and the size and the capacity of this is pretty much the same as the Chanel mini square. Obviously, totally different vibe, look, design, price point. But once I got this, I felt like it kind of checked somewhat of the box. And you guys know, if you've been here, that I love this bag very much. And it is one of my most used bags, actually. It was one of my most used in 2020. Super comfortable, super well made, super light. So anyway, between that Chanel mini square not working out, me getting this one, I was like, okay, I guess I'm over it. Then I discovered this and I was like, I got my red. Okay, I got my red. So all to say, I would have put a Chanel mini square caviar on my wish list as one of my dream handbags. And I think Amber put one on her wish list too. She's probably still on the hunt for, I think she's looking for the black caviar with silver hardware, I think. With the edge stitching. So if you see anything like that, go let Amber know because she's been looking. But I feel like this, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like this plus this kind of checks the mini square red box for me, if that makes any sense, even though these are totally different. Any handbag lovers out there, I think you might understand. And by the way, if you combine the prices of both of these together, it's pretty much the same price as what I had paid for that Chanel mini square in caviar that I returned. So I kind of feel like the universe just made it all work out, you know? Like it all just worked out. So I wanted to show you that, and also this one to share that story. But I have an announcement. And I think I will have an unboxing very soon. Fingers crossed. I had mentioned not long ago that I really am trying to keep my collection very tightly curated. And when I did my confession video about this bag, I was like, oh my gosh, I know I'm kind of going crazy this year in 2020 and I didn't expect to buy this, but I love it, I'm happy. I was just kind of explaining myself. But I did also mention that if I find one particular color from Chanel, I'm getting it. Like, there's no question, I'm getting it. And that is a camel color. I'm looking for the right camel color. I've been looking for a long time, and I've been looking on the pre-loved market for a really, really long time, but the perfect camel color doesn't seem to be available for me. And by the way, they're priced super high on the resale market because everybody wants one, it seems. But if you know the Chanel 21P collection, there's a new camel / caramel color that came out. The classic medium flaps are already out, and I've seen a few already, and it looks absolutely stunning. I wanted it in a mini, and I did pre-order one, and I'm just holding my breath because I don't have it in my hands yet, so I don't want to get too excited. And if and when it arrives, I need to see it in person because I haven't seen the color in person. I've only seen it online, and I need to make sure it's the right camel. If you don't know, camel is one of my all-time favorite colors, like for clothes, for handbags, for everything. So if this mini comes through for me and it's the right camel, then it may be like the dream box. Check, you know, that would be one of my dream handbags that would be sitting here. So stay tuned. Hopefully that will be coming soon. And of course, I will share with you all as soon as I'm able to. Okay, now speaking of camel, here is another dream bag of mine. My one and only Hermes bag. This is the Mini Eveline in the TPM size. And it is the gold, which is also like a camel / caramel. I love it. It's such a rich, rich color. And it has the beautiful white contrast stitching. And it's just so pretty. It's got the bright gold hardware. So this too, I would consider a dream handbag. If I didn't have it, I may have it on my wish list because I just wanted one Hermes bag. And the only one that I really wanted was the Mini Eveline. Okay, I like the other bags, but I don't necessarily love them. This to me is ideal because it is comfortable, it's lightweight, it's minimalist. I can put all my essentials in here, but it's not too big. It's such high quality, it's such a good price. And I don't know, I remember telling myself if I get an Hermes bag, it would be the Mini Eveline. I know that some of you at least are expecting me to say the Birkin or the Kelly is also in my dream bag list, but I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know if I really want the Birkin or the Kelly. Regardless of price, I'm not really a top handle bag girl. If you know me, then you know I love crossbody bags. And the Birkin is a top handle bag. That's what it is. That's all it is. You cannot wear that any other way. It's in the crook of your arm or in your hand. And I know that my top handle bags are my lesser worn bags in my collection, if that makes sense. So to spend 5 figures on a bag that is not exactly my ideal design, okay, I don't know. Now, I will say that after getting this one here, I can attest to the quality and the leather and the craftsmanship and just the beauty. So in that way, it partially makes me want a Birkin or Kelly even more because I can see how beautiful Hermes is. But again, there's a big difference between this, which I paid $1,800 retail, versus a 5-figure bag that is, again, not my ideal way of wearing a bag, top handle. So that's that. And then the Kelly, I thought, okay, I must be more of a Kelly girl because it has a strap. I could wear it on my shoulder or crossbody. But I have seen so many videos of people talking about how the opening of the Kelly is so fussy and how when you open it and close it, you have to use 2 hands and it's really kind of annoying and it tips forward if you don't hold it the right way. And I can't be dealing with that. Not if I spent 5 figures either. Like, you get my point, right? So I have to love it. It can't just be because it happens to be an Hermes bag. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's maybe a spot in my dream handbag wish list for some other Hermes bag. The Constance is really pretty, but again, I have so many crossbody bags. I don't know that it's worth it for me to add the Constance for that amount of money when I have plenty of crossbody bags that I love and I reach for all the time. But I think as I get older, I might want a Birkin. We shall see. But at this point, no. At this point, I actually question myself if I walk into an Hermes store and miraculously they offer me a Birkin or a Kelly, would I buy it? Probably not. I know it sounds crazy, but doesn't that mean I don't love it? I don't know. Even if it was $5,000, would I buy it? I don't know. And the fact that I don't know for sure is a problem. Like, that hesitation is not good when you're buying something. So anyway, I know this was a slightly different take on the top 5 dream bags tag video, but I hope you enjoyed what I had to share. I hope you enjoyed my nails. Let me show you. Okay, look. I messed up on this nail. After I painted my nails, I was so eager to film that I like bumped this nail against something and I ruined it basically. You see how it's got kind of like indents? So I'm going to show you, this is actually perfect because I want to repolish this nail. I'm going to show you how easy it is to remove this nail polish from Mejosi, these guys here. And I did this already when I tried it with my daughter. So you basically just, look at that. No nail polish remover required. Oh my gosh. That's so satisfying. Oh my gosh. See? It just peels right off. And there's my natural nail. Completely bare. Nothing on it. No residue. Yep. And then I can just go ahead and repolish it. But I wanted to show you that. There's the nail polish. It's kind of funny. And then, like I said before, this one here, you just soak it in warm water and it's supposed to pull right off. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy when I feature new products that I discover, also please let me know that in the comments so that I'm not just sharing things you don't want to be seeing. And also let me know in the comments below, what is your dream handbag? And tell me, do you have it or are you looking to get it in the future? I'd really love to know. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.